Set Piece Podcast. Hi everyone, I'm Myles Weston.
And I'm Kerry Phillips.
And this is the Set Piece Podcast,
where we talk about all things to do with football, mental health and well-being. Myles, what's going on, bro?
I'm here. We're here, my boy.
Yeah.
We're here, man.
It's been a long time coming, isn't it?
Of course, man.
It's been a long time coming,
A lot of planning in the making for this one, man.
Yeah, just a lot of talking, and now there's execution.
Trust me, it's exciting, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited about this.
Yeah, do you know what? It's crazy and it's wild for our story. You know, we're talking like people know who we are. So let's kind of just introduce. So yeah, so the reason why we've come together is because me and Myles, funnily enough, growing up in the same ends, but know the same people, but didn't know each other, innit?
Yeah, it's mad. It's actually crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of mutual friends.
Yeah, and it's mad that we actually didn't, and we haven't. I don't think we've actually
Been
seen each other in the same
I don't
vicinity,
think so
which is wild, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
it's
which is
crazy.
very wild.
Yeah.
So we've come together because of the fact that we know the implications of mental health and well-being with regards to the football world, and we want to try and give the viewers, give people the platform to kind of express how that works and what it's like, and it doesn't matter what level you're at.
Yeah.
It's real, isn't it?
And it's not even just footballers. It's different fields within football.
Yeah.
So there's physios,
Coaches,
managers.
Yeah.
All sorts. Like, we want to give people a platform to express themselves in regards to mental health.
Yeah.
And a chance for people to tell their story.
Yeah.
Many people don't get to get these platforms. So yeah, this is just why we've come together, man.
Yeah, and just for the disclaimer from now in it, like, we're not professionals. We're not coming here saying that, listen, you should take all the advice from ourselves and everything like that. Like, there's going to be some unpolished stuff. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, we're not here to basically give you like the finished article in terms of maybe your more experienced podcasts and your more professional podcasts, if you will. But we are here to just basically provide a platform for people to be able to speak and for people to understand and really kind of get to grips in terms of taking away people from the actual football industry itself and understanding that they're human beings, you know what I mean?
100%, man, 100%. It's needed. It's definitely needed, especially in the world we live in today.
Yeah.
I think mental health is real.
Yeah.
And as we always say, there's good mental health, and there's bad mental health.
Yeah, for real.
So yeah, man.
What does mental health mean to you?
Mental health. What does mental health mean to me? For me, I'm going to generalize it. I'm not going to split it into good and bad. For me, it's a mindset of how you could be living, or things you could have experienced in all different fields and all different experiences in life. That's what mental health is to me. I think you can experience mental health in everything.
Yeah.
Literally. There's not a thing that you can do and there's not mental health within.
Yeah.
Whether it's a good side or the bad side.
Yeah.
But for me, hopefully, it's more good than bad.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And even if it is bad, you've got people there that can get you through them times.
Yeah.
That's what mental health means to me. I think, you can experience mental health in anything.
Yeah.
And it's just knowing it and having the right support and the right ways to deal with it. Do you get what I mean?
I hear you.
That's what it means to me. What about you? What does mental health mean to you?
Do you know what? I feel like I would love for us to be able to get across how much there is, like, how there's so much good mental health.
Yes, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I think people hear mental health and automatically assume
bad.
negative. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would love for us to provide a platform where there's things that you're able to do in order to maintain a good well-being,
100%,
good mental health. And I think
100%.
mental health means to me, it's about trying to understand yourself more. Do you know what I mean? And understand that, you know what, like, your problems are not minimal because somebody else is going through something that maybe seems on the surface a bit deeper. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I think what we do, in my opinion, like I say, is that we downplay the significance of our stuff because of somebody else's situation, but it still means something to us.
Of course.
And then what tends to happen is that we don't talk about what's happening to us because it's so little, if you will.
Yeah.
Then it just keeps going and keeps layering and then layering and layering. And then it gets to a point where you start maybe moving a different way because of this little thing that started from here has now gone up to here.
Yeah.
So I feel like for me, you can't generalize mental health. Do you know what I mean?
And I always say this, I say, just because someone can deal with something, someone else might not be able to deal with that same thing. So you can't expect everyone to be able to deal with different things the same.
Yeah.
Or the same things the same. Do you know what I mean? Like other like I always say this in football terms, like someone being on the bench might be able to deal with that better than someone else. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. And you can't put them in the same bracket. Yeah. Someone might be devastated by being on the bench and not playing, but someone else might use that as motivation. To not be on the bench next week.
That's real.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
That's real. That's real.
That's what I feel like the world does. Yeah. Everyone's put into the same bracket. Yeah. And here you go. Yeah. But you can't do that.
And it doesn't mean anybody's less stronger than the other person.
No way.
Do you know what I mean? Like there are people that go to the gym that lift more than others, right? But that doesn't mean that because you're lifting more than me, that my muscle is not tearing because of the little weights that I'm lifting up.
Yeah, 100%.
It's tearing because of the fact that that's what I can lift. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying?
100%.
So, and I think with this platform as well, although we're talking about within the footballing industry, I think what people are going to get from this as well is even if you're not actually a fan of football, you'll hear some stories and you'll hear some conversations from people where you can relate that into your own world.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? We use football as it's like, for us, it's a universal language. Do you get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, so that's the reason why we use that.
Definitely.
But yeah, so in regards to obviously, let's let the people know who Myles Weston is. Who's Myles Weston?
Yeah, I'm a professional footballer. I'm a professional footballer, I should say.
Yeah.
Dad of 3.
Yeah.
Married to my beautiful wife.
Jeez, let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, I'm a business owner, Elevate FFM. Yeah. That's a football, fitness and mentoring business, which I have. And just I'm me, man. Like, do you know? I don't like to like people say, "Oh, you're a footballer," and nah, I'm me, man. And I'm gonna be me. I'm not gonna change for nothing. Like when I say change for nothing, obviously I'll change for the better. Yeah, but facts. I'm not gonna because I'm this or I'm that. I'm gonna treat anyone differently. Like I'm gonna try and treat everyone with love, regardless.
Facts.
Do you get what I mean? Like that's how I try to lead my life with love and compassion, because I know that it's not easy the world's not easy to live in, and we all need to help each other. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's right.
And I try to lead with love with everything that I do.
Yeah, facts.
Try to help.
Love that.
Regardless of who.
Yeah.
Like that's just me. So that's just a little brief breakdown of me, man.
Yeah, I love that. Who would I say Kerry Phillips is?
Who is Kerry Phillips?
Kerry Phillips with a PH. For those that know me, they will know that's a private joke. But like, I am just a man of God trying to just fulfill his calling and purpose.
Love that.
And I don't want to define anything because things can change in an instant.
Of course.
So what I will say now is that like I'm just trying to always be better. I'm definitely not perfect. I'm definitely not perfect. And I've just got a love for people.
100%.
I've got a love for people. And I think it should show. It should show through some of the stuff that I do outside.
Oh, 100%, man. And what is it that you do outside?
So I run a mental health organisation Saving Souls hub, safe space for people to come. Safe spaces, resourceful, useful resources. We've got sports, and we use that to basically do the prevention of mental health and the improvement of well-being. So, yeah, but I'm just here doing God's work, my bro.
Me too, man. I'm not gonna lie. Without God, none of this will be possible.
Yeah.
I've realized that in my life. I said God is needed with all things, and being saved, and I see that more now.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? And I'm grateful that I see it now because, obviously you've gone through things when you don't understand, but now I just see things so much more clearly and I understand things so much more.
Yeah.
As I said, I lead with love more now.
Yeah.
Being saved and I understand people more now.
Yeah,
that's
real. That's real. And that's where, like, what we love about what's going to happen and who's coming on with this podcast and everything like that is that you're going to get different people from different walks in terms of what their religious belief is. So we're not one of those ones where because we believe in God, that's the only people that we speak to. Like,
of course not.
Like whatever makes you a better person, we just know who we believe in. Whatever makes you a better person, whether it's God, Allah, Buddha, positive energy, the universe, your football club, whatever it is. So I think this is where we want to just kind of really build that unity
100%
within the industry
100%
and out of it as well,
and even touching on that, making people aware of a lot, like, do you know what I mean? Like, some of the people we're gonna have on, they got some beautiful stories, man. Beautiful, touching and eye-opening stories. So it's, as I said, it's a platform for people to laugh, live, learn. Do you get what I mean? And love. Like, this is what this podcast is, man. It's a set piece, bro. We're here to set peace. You get what I mean? Yeah. We're setting peace.
And even the name, man. Like, the name says it all. Like, for those that may be like, is the word astute? Judas, is the word astute? Like, you're what's the word? You're like, I'm gonna go footballingly astute. Like, you're well versed within football.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying, people. Like, when we're saying it's not gonna be polished, isn't it? Like, you might hear some random words and you're like, that is the wrong word. Put it in the comments. It's fine. It's cool. I'm good with that. But like, they would understand the word set piece. Obviously, that means like corner kicks, throw-ins, like goals. All goals can come from a set piece. And we just used the word piece and played on the word because that's really what we want to try to use as a goal. Do you get what I'm saying? 100%. To get the piece within 100%. That. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, no, definitely. It's I said it's exciting. I'm excited about this because we're gonna have some real, true, touching stories and amazing people, man. Like
you know what we can tell though. We can tell Myles is a footballer, you know, because footballers always have this way of speaking. Like this professional. You know what? The gaffer just told us to go out there, you know, and just obviously play our game. But the most important thing.
You say media training.
Yeah. Most important things that we got the 3 points. You know what I mean?
Come on. You got to be careful that you get in trouble.
Oh, is it? Yeah, of course you could. Of course you would. And in terms of obviously the set piece podcast, we love to get people on that would love to interact with us. So if you are in the footballing industry, like I say, please email us. Like, let us know that you're about, because we always want to hear stories. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think just to kind of to give you kind of an insight in terms of what we mean by why we would get like a coach or a physio, or why we would get like managers or analysts, anything, whatever it is. Let's say, for example, you are a coach, right? Some people in the industry, or maybe not in the industry, won't know that, let's say, for example, the manager gets sacked, right? If a new manager comes and they bring their whole backroom staff, then that means the coaches are going, correct me if I'm wrong, the physios are going, like potentially the assistant the assistant managers. Like, you can correct me if I'm wrong, innit? You know what I mean? Like, so
it's a whole new
setup. So imagine you're a coach that's done nothing wrong. You're doing your job week in, week out, training these clubs, training the guys, training the girls, you're training them. And then the manager gets sacked, and then all of a sudden you're out of a job.
Exactly.
Like, what happens there when you've got a mortgage to pay for,
family to
when
feed.
you got family to feed.
Yeah.
Like, what happens then? How do you deal with that?
Exactly, and that's why it's important that we decided that we're not just going to do players, because players, obviously, they are important, but there is definitely other fields in football which is also important.
Yeah.
And I'm excited, as I said, to see and hear from everyone that's experienced, gone through some sort of experience. Because as I said, it's not just professional footballers we're doing non-league footballers.
Yeah.
We've got
grassroots.
Yeah. We've got all sorts, because we're open to hearing from anyone, because it's not, as I said, everyone goes through mental health. Everyone. So it can't just be professional footballers.
Yeah,
do you get what I mean?
Facts.
Maybe a professional footballer's mental health or well-being might be different to a grassroots. Does that mean it's more important?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so yeah.
And also highlighting the women's game as well.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because I think it needs more attention in terms of the fact that it gets disregarded so quickly in terms of, we say, the ability of football, the ability of football is different compared to the men's game. And then I'm like, yeah, okay, it is. But then in the same breath, right, like, there's fans out there that will go and watch their local Sunday league team, that are not nobody. Every Sunday, wake up Sunday league, right, and watch it. And the standard, some of the standard down there, I wouldn't say it's poor, but it's not like the level of Prem. Yeah. So why can you not watch? Why can you watch that and you can't watch that? Do you know what I mean?
No,
and then have something negative to say about it. And even if you can't watch it, you can't watch it. But have something negative to say about it. It just, for me, it just doesn't make any sense.
You don't have to like it, but you don't. If you ain't got nothing good to say, I wouldn't say anything.
Yeah, just leave it.
Treat people how you want to be treated.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts.
That's the truth. Do you get what I mean?
And another thing we want to shout out to as well is local organisations and even regional organisations that like deal with regards to the mental health and the well-being side. If you'd like to obviously catch up with us, see if there's any way that we can collaborate or anything like that, see if we can promote what you're doing as well, because the most important thing for us is not gatekeeping where the information is there. Like, what is the point of having all of these resources out there and we're not being able to provide anybody 100%. With them? So what we're not going to do is we're not going to say we're going to give you advice and saying you should do this, you should do that. But what we can do is we can actually signpost you to people in terms of where, if something has hit you or something has kind of got to you, you can kind of have a space where you're able to get that support. And I think it's just so important because, like, even like how me and you come about, right? Yeah. Like, when I think about it now, what's this? Was it 2020? Was it 21 or 22 that we started talking?
21, I'd say.
21, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Back end of 21, innit?
Yeah.
Right, so back end of 21, we started talking. And what are we now? 2024.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm looking at it, that's 3 years, yeah? Just under 3 years.
Yeah.
And I have a safe space within you that I may not have with a lot of people that I've known longer.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
100%.
And why I say that and why I allude to that is that if, for example, you have people out there that maybe you don't have that safe space with them, it might be this organization that you see just come up on the screen and you think, you know what? I'm going to have a conversation with that person. And you might just find that safe space within an hour, too. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because even touching on that, I'd say listening is important.
Yeah.
Sometimes if someone does come to you for whatever reason, it's not always about giving the advice. It's about being there to listen to them. That's sometimes what people want. It's to someone that they can go to that's going to listen. If you have got good advice, then that's a bonus.
Yeah, facts.
Do you get what I mean? Yeah. But if a lot of people, I should say, they ain't got people they can go to where they can speak real about it without it being joked about, without being criticised, without being directed in. Because sometimes people don't want to be directed. They just want to be able to speak.
Just to vent.
And speak to someone. Do you get what I mean? And I feel like we need more of that. We need more people to listen and to be there for people. Do you get what I mean? Because I'm not saying that people ain't got that. Yeah, but I think there needs to be more of that.
Yeah,
And
what I think we also need as well. So, and this is why like we have this, because we've got different perspectives, but they're still quite similar. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As much as we need people to listen, we need people out there, and I'm looking dead in the camera. Which camera should I look at, Julius? Which one should I look at? This one, yeah. Look dead in the camera. We need you to talk as well.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because, like, a lot of the stuff in our heads, right? And I can just talk from myself, right? A lot of the stuff in my head, I never used to speak about because of what I thought people were going to think of me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And more time, when I found that safe space, or when I've had a conversation with somebody, it's like, raw, all of that was in my head. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think it's so important that we talk more, because it's only then that we're able to really, really uncover who we actually are.
100%.
There's a lot of people that talk about self-love, and all of that stuff. And sometimes it's a cover-up, right? Because we're not actually showing ourselves self-love, because we're not actually talking about the things that are affecting us.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't speak enough, but I think that's fair. I think it's definitely fair. Like, I think not fair of actually speaking, fair of the reaction.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
Like, I feel like people don't speak because they're thinking about what the response might be.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And if people are gonna take it the way they want it to, and how people are gonna take it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because as I said, like, taking the step to speak is the first step.
Yeah.
That, for me, if you can take that step,
Yeah.
then you're halfway there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's about being brave enough to take the step and to confide in someone and to go and speak to someone about whatever you're going through.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? I just think in the world that we live today, there's, as I said, no one knows how someone's going to take it. If someone came to you and said, listen, I'm struggling, man, like, I need your help, some people might laugh at that.
Yeah.
And I think that's why people don't talk, because they don't know
what that person's going to be like.
Yeah.
But this is where I feel like, as well, we need to look at our friendship circles.
Yep.
And kind of see what kind of suits what.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, for example, like, and shout out Marvin Harrison for this, when we went away on a retreat, right? He was talking about, like, your boxes, like putting friendships in certain boxes and stuff like that, right? And let's take you and Julius, for example, right? I might not go to Julius for, and this is hypothetically speaking, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, I might not go to Julius for advice on I'm struggling in terms of mentally, right? But then I might go to Julius if I say, do you know what, bro, I want to go to a rave. Like, do you want to go out to a rave? Because that might be Julius's thing.
Yeah.
But then I might not ask you to come to the rave.
Yeah.
But I might ask you for mental health and well-being advice.
Yeah.
But because I asked Julius for mental health and well-being advice, let's say, for example, and his response is, bro, forget all of that, let's go to the rave. Yeah. I start seeing Julius as like, nah, this can't be my brethren, because I'm coming to you when I'm struggling, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes we have to understand that it's not that person is a bad friend.
Nah.
It's they haven't got the capacity to take that on, because they haven't even done the work within themselves.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's still identifying who your friendship circles are, and what their friendship circles are, and also
100%.
understanding that just because you may ask a certain friend for this and a certain friend for that, that doesn't mean that they're not your brethren. Do you know what I mean?
Not.
They're just two different people.
And that's it. And that's where I think people do go wrong, though.
Yeah.
I think they ask certain things
and expect from certain people.
Yes, exactly. And it's knowing who you can go to. But this is why I said, on the other hand, being the friend, that it's coming, that the person coming to, sometimes listen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I'm not saying that don't respond to it, but you have to know your friends. You have to know the person.
It's real.
I'm telling you, because if you say the wrong advice to that person, they could spiral out of control.
But then there's that whole banter thing. Innit?
Exactly.
Like,
I was only joking.
Banter,
but you know,
banter.
listen, I always say this at football. You need to know who you can banter with. You see me, I'm all for banter. I don't mind. Like, I think it's a part of the football culture or whatever.
Yeah.
But as soon as it turns into hurting someone's feelings,
you drop me out.
You've got to stop.
Yeah, drop me out.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because banter shouldn't hurt anyone's feelings. Do you get what I'm saying?
For real. That's real.
Like, and banter's not something that should hurt anyone's feelings.
Yeah, that's real.
So as soon as it gets to that point, you need to be aware and stop.
Yeah, that's real.
Because that's when it turns into something else.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Where in football, have you seen a lot where, like, now that you're more, that you're more aware within you, are you more aware of how many times maybe somebody might have come to you in the past that might have been struggling and you might have been, I wouldn't say dismissive, but you wasn't as forthcoming as you are now, the person that you are?
Yeah, I'd say that 100%. I used to be the one that used to go to the older boys.
Right, okay.
Do you get what I mean? Because so now I'm older.
Yeah.
A lot of people come to me.
Right, okay.
So, but the difference with me, which I was blessed to have, I had a lot of people that I could go to.
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah.
Older pros.
Yeah.
People that gave me good advice. So throughout my career, I've been blessed enough to go to people and they've given me good advice.
Yeah.
So now I feel like it's my duty to give it back.
Yeah.
Being one of the oldest in my team currently,
like
I like to speak to the younger boys or speak to the boys that's younger than me.
Yeah.
And try and give them good advice. Obviously, from my lived experiences.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I don't want them to make the same mistakes I made.
Yeah.
Or I don't want them to go through the things that I've gone through. So let me try and guide them or even give them tools to not do that.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So that's how I that's how I live. Do you get what I mean? And it doesn't even have to be in football. It could be in life in general.
Yeah,
do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to see people go through the same things I went through.
Yeah.
If they don't need to. Do you get what I mean?
And I think
like, why?
That's quite similar to why, like, I set up what I set up in terms of that, because I just felt like for both men and women, right, there just needed to be a space where you can just feel comfortable. And sometimes it takes you to be the vulnerable one in order for somebody else to feel like it's safe to be vulnerable. Yeah. Because there's this mad stereotype right about now. I say stereotype. I think it's becoming a lot better. Yeah. Right. But vulnerability doesn't make you weak.
No way.
Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of strength within vulnerability.
100%.
And like with regards to like men speaking up more as well, like that is so important. Like, because men just used to just get on with it. Right, just get on with it. And even up to now, obviously, a lot of men do. But in the same breath, I feel like it's kind of slowly but surely changing in terms of men actually having conversations about that.
100%, man. I think, like, I don't think being vulnerable is any form of weakness. That's strength to me. Yeah. I feel like you've taken a step and to actually tell someone what you're going through. And it's not just, I don't even think it's just vulnerability. I think it's pride.
Yeah.
I think pride, oh man, that kills so many dreams. That does so much harm to people when you've got too much pride, or even pride in general. Yeah. Because that pride will make someone not ask for help.
Yeah, that's.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what pride does. Yeah. And I've been there. I've had pride where I said, I can't even ask, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Or I can't even. I don't want to ask because I don't want them to think this. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? And that's pride. Yeah. But the older I've got, the less pride I got. Yeah. Now I'm not. If I have to ask for something or if I need something, and I'm gonna ask. Yeah. I don't care what anyone thinks. Yeah. Because that pride could set you back years.
Yeah. And you've got other people, like, for example, you said, like, you've got Dada Free in it. Like, there's more people now, right, that rely on you now. So you not asking for pride, you not asking because of your pride might not actually just be setting you back.
Exactly.
It might be the people that you're looking after, your wife, you get what I'm saying, your family, you know 100%. What I mean? And even touching on that with regards to, like, we're saying about your wife and stuff like that, like, for her, having a safe space being able to find that safe space. That's why it's so important for women as well, because we talk about like men's mental health, and don't get it twisted, men's mental health is very severe. Like it's we know the stats
Of
and
course.
things like that, right?
Yeah.
But I think just because women speak more doesn't necessarily mean they've got over what it is that they were dealing with. A lot of them have just learned how to deal with it, and they've learned to get on with it without actually touching the surface of, do you know what, this really affected me. Rather than, because it's like, because you've spoken, it's, no, but for some of them, it's just getting it out.
I want to say two things. First thing is, even in relationships, some people wouldn't even tell their partner everything.
Yes,
Do you get what I mean? Like the person they're with,
Yeah,
they don't
it's
even feel
mad.
comfortable to tell them.
It's mad.
If you can't do that,
Yeah.
how can you be with that person?
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
But I'm gonna let you let you land first.
That's like, well, me, it's different. I'm married,
Yeah,
so I'm comfortable to tell my wife
Yeah.
everything and anything. I don't really care. Do you know what I mean? So I get it. If you're not married,
Yeah.
you might not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're married, I think it's different to when you're just seeing someone, or it's like, do you know what I mean? So that was the first thing I was gonna say, and the second thing I was gonna say in regards to football. When I used to lose, or if I didn't come on, or if I was in the stands, or whatever it was, and I was unhappy on a Saturday, I used to take that energy home.
Wow.
Yeah, so I used to take it home. So I used to be upset and be around my missus and not be vibey or not even be happy. I used to be down, and when she's talking to me, I'm giving one-word answers and stuff like that. So football dictated my mood.
Right.
Yeah, it used to anyway, I should say.
Yeah.
It's only when I've got older, I'd say probably the last 6 or 7 years, where I've managed to be able to put football to the side when I get home and be able to be myself still, regardless of the result, or regardless if you're injured, or regardless if you didn't play. Because I used to let football dictate my mood. And it's not fair on your family, it's not fair on your friends, it's not fair on your kids to do that.
Yeah, it's facts.
I know they
That's
say
facts.
eat, sleep, drink football.
Yeah.
I don't believe that, because I'm not going to go home and then I'm in a mood all weekend because I didn't play, or I didn't have a good game, or whatever like that. And then I'm upset with my wife and my kids. Not upset, or just my vibe's down. My kids want to play and I'm just like, oh, I'm not in the mood. Like, what? No, I'm not doing that. I'm telling you I'm not doing that, because it's not fair on them. Do you get what I mean? But it's taken me years to get there. So I can only imagine how much other footballers do that. And it's not fair on your family.
Yeah, that's real.
Do you get what I mean? It's not, because that's a form of mental health. It is.
Yeah, that's
I'm telling you.
That's
and what I've learned to do after the game, good, bad, or indifferent, put it to the side. On Monday, I'll pick it back up.
Yeah, that's facts.
So then my family's not getting affected by me, or how I played, or my mood.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So
no, that's dope, and I'm glad that you've been able to identify, because some people don't identify
No.
that. And going back to what you were saying about not being able to say to the space where you can speak to your partner, I think sometimes, and I'm not saying it's right, I can only speak from a man's perspective. Women, ladies, if there is anything that you can identify with, or why you may not speak to your partner, please put it in the comments. But like, sometimes I wouldn't tell my partners what I'm going through because I don't want them to worry about me.
True.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, do you know what? Like, I know it's going to come with even more worry on my head now.
Yeah, I hear
because you're going to be worried about
I've been there,
how. Do you get what I'm
100%.
saying? You get what I'm saying?
I've done that. I've experienced that where I have said it.
Yeah,
and then it's more worry.
Yeah, and then it's
then
like
you're
that.
oh, man, maybe
I wish I never said that. I
Yeah.
shouldn't have said anything. So sometimes
No,
it
I
is
hear
that with regards to that. But going back to what you landed on, what you ended on in regards to obviously not allowing football to affect your mood. The reason why we kind of went full circle, well, and obviously I know for some listeners, they've like, we started off with football, like we've gone into the middle of where there wasn't so much of football, but now we're back to football. The reason why we've gone full circle is just to show you that this podcast is about football, and we are now relating it to just normal life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and why I say that is because Myles has said that he's found that when obviously he has good or bad days at football, he doesn't allow it to affect himself when he gets home. And this is just you in your normal workplace.
Yeah.
If, for example, you could be just finishing your local shift at Sainsbury's. You could be in the office, right?
Yeah.
And you've had a bad day in the office and you're coming home. You're like, learn to try and switch off that feeling of, do you know what? I've had a bad day. Sometimes it's not a bad day.
Yeah.
Bad 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Learn to switch that off and try and not to bring that home. And you know what? I feel like what if somebody said something to me, previously, about a couple of weeks ago actually, right? Where you know, like for example, when we go through stuff, shout out Stephanie for this. When we go through stuff and we start, like, maybe we switch, yeah, we get angry and stuff like that. And then afterwards you feel so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like afterwards, right? That's because it's not us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And the reason why you feel bad is because that's not you, right? So now you've added some more stuff onto yourself in regards to guilt and how you feel about certain things. And like I say, whether you believe in God, Allah, or Buddha, this is why with God says, let me deal with any problems that you've got, because he can deal with it, right? Yeah. When you try to deal with it by yourself, bruv, that's when you start, get what I'm saying? You start doing a madness, and he's trying to protect us from that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like for a lot of people out there, understand that sometimes, like, when you get angry, it brings out a side to you that you don't even like within yourself. So if you can try and hold back from that, like, I'd say it's difficult, but those are certain things that could potentially affect your mental well-being as well. Do you know what I mean?
I think there's a scripture in the Bible, I think it's James 1:19, be swift to listen, slow to speak, slow to wrath.
Yeah.
And that's because you don't want to act off of emotion. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? Like, you don't. I think people that act off emotion, some of the craziest things happen off of emotion.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
There's a lot
and
of people.
then after you do it, you're like, man,
why did I do that?
And then you're in a big you're in a big problems. Do you get what I'm saying?
We know people that are either dead or in jail off of 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes,
less than
20 seconds of rage.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
20 seconds of rage.
Yeah.
So, man, we're going to bring this podcast to you. You'll have people within the footballing industry that will start speaking about, obviously, their experiences, but also as well, remember that they're humans as well. So away from the football, you're going to hear about their experiences. So the format is, as we haven't explained the format, but the format will be 45 minutes of football, and then 45 minutes of mental health and well-being, which is obviously accumulates to 90 minutes. For some topics, for some subjects, I should say, interviews, we will have extra time and stuff like that. But the main aim for us is to really try and put across how football and mental health go together, and how important as well what the community of football can do on the positive side of things.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Because I said, going back to me, my career, man, I was even thinking on the way here, like, football's been a blessing to me, man. Like, it does so much, like, not just on the pitch, off the pitch.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm punctual.
Yeah.
So punctuality has been in me through football, because if I'm late, I get fined. So from when I've been young, it's been in me to be on time. Do you get what I mean?
So that's discipline, isn't it?
Discipline. So it's allowed me. So if I've got a meeting, or if I've got to get the kids on time, I have to be there early. I don't like being late. Is probably what I hate it. I'm not gonna lie. I hate being late.
Yeah, you show me up still.
So that's one of the things that football's putting in me. Discipline. Do you get what I mean? There's loads of things that I've learned, like, football's done for me. And the older I've got, obviously, the more I appreciate it now. When I was younger, maybe, I think, it's not that I didn't love it, but it's the maturity of me now, I appreciate the opportunities more. Because I understand that there's so much people that want to be where I am. And I'm still playing. And I don't take it for granted. There was a stage where I definitely did. Do you get what I mean? I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. Probably my mind wasn't right. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But as I said, the older I've got, the more I appreciate it. So for me now, when every day I get to train, every day I get to play, every day I even get to go in, I'm grateful, because I've got friends that's retired years ago. years and years ago. I've got friends that had to retire through injury. And God has given me God has been merciful to me to continue playing at 36. Do you get what I mean? So my mindset, but as I said, it comes with maturity, and this is why
we're doing this now.
We're doing this.
Because
as I said, I don't want people to not take football for granted. That could be a year or 2 or 3 that you've wasted. Do you get what I mean?
And the same way you're saying it's come with maturity as a footballer, is for me just working in the public sector and the private sector and stuff like that. Like, it's for me show me the level of maturity that I needed to be able to kind of even talk about this sort of stuff here. Do you know what I mean? And I think from a football fan's perspective, I've seen how football brings people together.
100%.
Do you get what I'm saying? It's I've said it before, I'll keep on saying it, how much of a universal language it is. It doesn't matter what nationality you speak. If I've got a ball at my feet, right, and I kick the ball to you, 9 times out of 10, that person's probably going to pass it back unless it's their football. Do you know what I mean? It's a universal language. And being a season ticket holder, and when I go to away games...
For who?
My boys, you get me? My boys, the Gunners, my boys. Yeah. When we go to away games, I say we like I don't go by myself. But when I go to away games, like every time I'm sitting next to somebody different, and I'm meeting new people each week, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter, right, what color, gender, race, religious belief, age, whatever it is, as soon as Arsenal score, we are jumping all over each other and we are mates. Do you get what I'm saying? So I've seen the power of how football can just really bring people together as well.
100%.
So we want to show how important it is to have a community. And with that, if it's not through football, we're showing you that although our podcast is about football, you can do that in a different sport and bring the community.
Of course, man.
Basketball, tennis, netball, cricket, whatever the sport is.
Even you saying that, like, fans, like, being around you and seeing you being a season ticket holder, it's given me a different perspective on fans as well. Okay. Obviously, already, like, I respect all the fans because they pay their money to come and watch our games. And obviously, it helps run the club and everything. That's what fans do. And I know, like, sometimes fans can be on players and all that, but that fan coming to that game, you don't know what that's doing for them. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you playing for that fan or playing and then watching that game, that could make their whole week.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Facts.
That's their peace. That's their peace. Like football is some fans' peace. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I look at it from that perspective. Like, I know, like, some fans are hard to deal with sometimes. Like, not majority ain't, but some are. But I just think, listen, you don't know what that fan's got. That's why, as much as I can, I try and speak to fans and if they do ask for an autograph or if they do want to speak or give them a little minute. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Because you don't know what that does.
And do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That could be, I spoke to even the little kids, like, they come and, well done, and or they want to shake your hand or whatever, like that.
They're going into school, they're like,
or not even that. I went to the Bromley game and do you get what I'm trying to say? And I watched the game and that could set that fan's whole week.
Listen,
do you get what I mean?
From my perspective, like, when I was going through it, like, 2022, Arsenal and my mental health team, my boys, they got me through some ish, you know.
I'm telling you, man.
Like, they got me. And people probably would look at it and think, but what, you're just going to watch people play football? Like, they won't understand the peace that I used to get from driving up the motorways, just going up there. It was deeper than football. And it got to a point where, whether it was win, lose or draw with Arsenal, it was just being there. Do you get what I'm saying? With my boys, like, with the football team, whether it was win, lose or draw, it was just being in that environment. Do you get what I'm saying?
this
Like,
is it.
so yeah, man.
And this is it. And everyone's got their thing in it. Like,
Yeah, facts.
do you get what I mean? Everyone's got their thing that they like to do, like their hobby or whatever.
Their vice, innit?
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, their vice. And for me, as I said, football is a lot of people's vice. Whether you're playing it, whether you're watching it, whether you're coaching, physioing, and this is why this podcast is here. Do you get what I mean? Because
that's what we're trying to do, man.
We're trying to just spread awareness. We're trying to give people a platform to speak and express themselves. Do you get what I mean? So
yeah, man. So listen, if we mentioned earlier, if you want to be on the podcast, we'll there's an email address that you can just email us at. You can follow us at the Set Piece Podcast. Yeah, at the Set Piece Podcast. Yeah,
and you can DM us on Instagram as well.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's the
so
IG.
email, DM.
Yeah.
Get in touch with us.
Get in touch with us if you want to be on the podcast. And then obviously if you want to collaborate as well, by all means, just literally just DM us or send an email over to us. Once again, man, this space that we're just trying to provide is just really a space for people to talk. Basically, we're trying to build a set piece community. So if you want to be a part of the set piece community, and you've got ideas of how we can make a community in a different way, we've got our ideas, but we're also just always willing to listen to people to see how we can build even bigger communities
100%.
around.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, listen, people, you're gonna hear more from us. You're gonna see more from us. Myles, listen, man, I'm like just trying to take the time out, man. I love you, man. Like,
I appreciate that,
because you know it is like.
Come on, man. It's always love, though, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is like. Well, even apart from this, but like, come on, man. As you said, like, I feel like I've known you my whole life. Bro.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
It's crazy.
Like, it's
so
mad.
It's deeper, and this was always gonna happen, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, we're on the same path. Like, we know, like, we're aligning with different things. You get what I'm trying to say? So,
Julius, we love you, man.
Hey, Julius. Hey, one day you're gonna see Julius.
One day
you're
gonna. But Julius just gave me the way Julius just cut his eye after me after saying,
Julius, he is a whiz with anything technical.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, this guy has taught me so much from a Mac.
Listen,
so much.
We're gonna get a set piece special with Julius. We're gonna get the podcast finished. Julius is gonna end up crying at the end of the podcast. We're gonna get the emotions out of him. We're gonna get the emotions out of him. I promise you. By the end of
Julius,
it.
You know,
but yeah, people, like I say, anything you need to want to get in contact. If you want to know more, then DM us at the Set Piece Podcast. You'll see our personal Instagrams in the bio as well of that. So if you want to get in contact with us directly on a one-on-one, then get in contact with us. But yeah, people, I'm Kerry Phillips.
I'm Myles Weston.
And welcome to the Set Piece Podcast.
If you've been affected by anything discussed in this episode, we encourage you to seek support. Visit our mental health resources page at www.thesetpiecepodcast.com for help, guidance, and more information. Because when it comes to mental health, every mind deserves extra time.